Hi everyone, this is Steph from Stampin' and Scrappin' with Steph. And this is the card we are going to make. Today I'm sharing with you another project using products from the new mini catalog. This particular stamp set is Christmas to Remember. This is part of a large suite called Painted Christmas, and that is on page 16 of the new mini catalog that will be coming out soon. This is a large collection because it actually has 2 stamp sets and 2 dies, so basically 2 bundles, some ribbon, some holly gold leaves, and the paper. So this is the other stamp set called Christmas Season. And I don't have the dies out, sorry about that, but the dies coordinate with cutting out some of these shapes. And it also has some labels and things that you can cut out. And then another one is like pine leaves and pine cones, but more of like background type of stuff. And then this is the ribbon. It is a metallic ribbon with cherry cobbler and gold foil. It's a really pretty ribbon to use. So this is the card. And this is the designer series paper, which is called Painted Christmas. Now a while back we had Painted Seasons and Painted Autumn. So if you liked those, it's a similar feel as far as like the way the images are. So you can see, obviously I've already cut in here. The paper is all double-sided. And I think this is the last one. Just like that. All right. So this is one of those, I guess it could be a part of a fun fold card, but it is an easel card. So it stands up like that. And the greeting that I used is love and joy come to you and may it last the whole year through. And it's a super easy card to make. Not a lot of stamping because I wanted the paper to kind of be what stands out on the card with the ribbon. So you're going to need some cardstock, and I'm using soft succulent, and that measures 4 1/4 by 11. Another piece that is 4 by 5 1/4. 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then the DSP is 4 by 5 1/4. We have some cherry cobbler, and my cherry cobbler is, I believe it's 2 1/4 by 4 1/4. My designer series paper is 2 by 4. Then I have another piece of cherry cobbler, and this one is 2 3/4 by 4. And some other designer series paper cut at 2 1/2 by 3 3/4, and then a piece of whisper white that is, I think this was 1 1/2 by 2 3/4. Yep. All right. So to create the easel, you'll need a scoreboard or your trimmer. And you're going to score in 2 different spots. With the 11-inch side at the top, you want to score at 2 3/4, and then down at 5 1/2. And that's all the scoring that you need to do. So now we're going to fold on the score line. So So fold in half like you normally would a card like that. And you're going to take the second fold and you're just going to fold it under. So then your card kind of sits like this. All right, and we're going to take our layers and put them together. I'm going to take my soft succulent and then my designer series paper. I'm going to put those two together, and I'm using the Stamp and Seal adhesive. And take the other designer series paper, add that. I like easy layers, things that come together quickly, especially if you are designing cards that you want to make multiples of. Quick cuts and layers, you know, make it, oh goodness, make it so much easier and faster, which is, you know, time is of the essence when crafting is limited. All right, so let me put this there. All right, so those are our layers. And set that aside. So now to do the easel. So what I find it's easy to do is I'm going to open this edge here. And so we have this section here from the score lines. I'm going to add my adhesive here. And now I'm going to take this card layer and I want to adhere the bottom section. Okay, this is going to be free up the top. You don't want to put any adhesive on here, which is why I've put it on this card base. So now I'm going to line up my corner and the left edge. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. And so when you open the card, it kind of sits, you know, kind of sits like that if you were just to leave it open. But when you close it, everything lines up and it sits flat. To create the easel, we're going to take this particular piece. This is the one that measured 2 3/4 by 4. I'm going to add adhesive to the back of this one. Ooh, it's getting away from me today. And as we lift up the card, you have this large section here. Going to the bottom edge, I'm just going to line this up with a nice little border of the soft succulent showing through and stick that down. And now when you stand the card up, it will rest against that paper edge there and it will stand up. All right. So now for this piece, before I stick it down, I'm going to add some of the new ribbon to it. And I'm going to create a nice little bow. I think I'll keep it a little closer, maybe towards the bottom. This ribbon has a nice feel to it, and it's easy to tie bows with it because the bows stay if the fingers cooperate. There we go. Well, I say it ties a nice bow, but Steph didn't tie a nice bow. Okay, let's try this one more time. I'm holding it really tight, which doesn't always help when you're trying to tie bows. There we go. I know there's probably an easier way to do this. I always fumble with the bows, but All right, let's just trim these edges. And now I'm going to add the adhesive to the back. Now, you can add a little adhesive to the back of the bow, and that helps keep it. So on the original card, I put this in the middle. I'm thinking I'm going to set this a little bit more to the bottom corner here. Just like that. And now I'm going to add some of these gold adhesive sequins. I did 2 the last time, so I think I'll just stick with 2. So I'm going to do one big one here. Maybe right there. And then I'll do this medium-sized one up there. All right. So now I want to stamp the greeting. And like I said, the greeting that I used is Love and Joy Come to You, and may it last the whole year through. That's on the Christmas to Remember stamp set. I'm going to use Cherry Cobbler on this little 1/2 inch by 2 3/4. And I apologize, I didn't put the label on. All right, and now I'm going to add the sequence to this one. And then I think 1, 2, 3. Time to order some more of these. Didn't realize I was running that low and I was starting to create this project. All right, and I'm going to add a few dimensionals to the back side. And then this will go right in the center. All right. And there's that version. And here's my original. They're really pretty cards. And again, not a lot of product used, but they really have a wow, I think. So be sure to subscribe and like this video. And to the next time, happy stamping.